I want you to become a gambler, but I don't want you to gamble with your money. Money can be replaced. You can lose $10,000 today and make it back next year. Money is cheap. I want you to make bets with your most valuable, non-refundable currency, your time. Bet on your skills. Bet on your business ideas. Bet on your future. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and most of them spend this precious currency on complete crap. Let's look at the brutal math of your life. Every single human being gets the exact same budget. 168 hours in a week. No matter if you are rich or poor, the clock moves at the exact same speed. Out of those 168 hours, 56 of them you spend asleep. 40 hours you spend working for someone else, trading your life for a paycheck. Around 30 hours you spend on inevitable things like eating, showering, waiting in line, or sitting in a public transport on your way to work or school. When you do the math, that leaves you with 40 hours of absolute pure freedom. 40 hours every single week where nobody owns you. And how do you spend that treasure? If you are like most people nowadays, you spend most of those 40 hours staring at a small glass screen. You spend it on cheap distractions, telling yourself that you need to relax after work by watching TV, playing video games, or going to parties with people you don't even like. You take your 40 hours of freedom and you throw them into a garbage can, just to forget the reality of your life for a moment. I am telling you to stop throwing your life away. I am telling you to take those 40 hours, walk up to the table, and put them down as a bet in a different kind of game. What are the stakes in this game? The grand prize is success, satisfaction, creating a brand, and building a business. And the biggest prize of all? Something most people completely miss is that you are betting your time now to buy more time for yourself in the future. Think about the irony of modern society. You are willing to spend 40 hours a week working for someone else for 40 years just to buy a house and retire when your body is old and tired. You are willing to bet your whole life on a game where you are guaranteed to lose your best years. But what if you changed this game? What if you took just a fraction of your free time and, let's say, 10 or 20 hours every single week and bet it on building your own empire? After 5 years of hard work, you could become successful. You could make enough money to quit your job. You could buy that house and still have all your precious time left for yourself while you are young enough to enjoy it. Of course, this is simplified. Building a business is hard. Learning a high-value skill is painful. This is not a magic trick. There is a famous rule created by researchers that says if you want to become a true master of any skill, you need to spend 10,000 hours practicing it. 10,000 hours. When people hear that number, they get scared. They think it's impossible, but I want you to look at those 10,000 hours not as prison sentence, but as the ultimate jackpot at the gambling table. To win the game of life, you have to buy your mastery. Every hour you spend learning to edit, learning to code, learning to sell, or building a side hustle is another chip you place on the table. Most people fail because they are terrible gamblers. They work for 50 hours, they don't see any views, they don't see any money, and they get frustrated. They say, this doesn't work, and they walk away from the table. They lose their chips because they don't understand that the machine only pays out when you hit the volume. This is where that beautiful quote, popularized by Alex Hormozy makes perfect sense. Do so much work that it would be unreasonable for you to be unsuccessful. If you want to be a master of a skill, you need to stack so many hours of silent, brutal execution that the math of the universe has no choice but to reward you. If you put in that unreasonable amount of work, if you choose to stay home and build your 10,000 hours instead of chasing cheap fun every weekend, you will win your freedom. You can get rich before your 30s or your 40s or your 50s. The age doesn't matter, and there is no rush. This is a marathon, not a sprint. But when you finally hit that jackpot, you get your life back. You get to feel real progress. You get out of your comfort zone and you stop feeling like a slave to the system. So just make this stupid bet already. Stop overthinking. Even if you are not sure if your business idea will work, so what? What is the worst that can happen? If you make a bet with your time, there are only two outcomes. The first outcome is that you win. You get freedom, success, wealth, and satisfaction. You become the master of your own destiny. The second outcome, the negative one, is that your project fails. Your business goes under. Your videos get no views. But even if you lose that specific bet, you still win the grand prize. You win experience. You win the identity of a fighter. You learn how to build a business and you learn what not to do next time. You gain a piece of those 10,000 hours of mastery that nobody can ever steal from you. You get to look in the mirror and know that you actually tried, that you lived like a man rather than slowly fading away doing nothing like the rest of the world. The tragic truth is that your time is passing anyway. Next year you will still be 1 year older, whether you make the bet or not. Those 40 hours of free time every week will be gone, whether you spend them on Netflix or on your dream. The currency is being spent automatically. You cannot save it in a bank, so stop leaving your chips on the table. Walk up to the game of life, look the universe in the eyes, and make the bet. Start the clock.